Japan's first female prime minister. This marks a historic milestone in the country's political history. In 2024, Takaichi ran for the LDP leadership. She won the first round but lost the runoff to Shigeru Ishiba. Takaichi's victory after Japan's ruling Democratic Party closely watched a leadership vote to replace the outgoing Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. Sanae Takaichi has won the Liberal Democratic Party leadership runoff with 185 votes, defeating Shinjiro Koizumi, who received 156 votes. Following this victory, Takaichi is expected to become Japan's first female prime minister. This marks a historic milestone in the country's political history. In 2024, Takaichi ran for the LDP leadership. However, she won the first round but lost the runoff to Shigeru Ishiba. The Takaichi's victory after Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party closely watched a leadership to vote to replace the outgoing Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Dr. Satoru Nagao. He's a fellow at Hudson Institute, joins us live from Tokyo. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, how significant is this that a first female leadership has been selected, and how will her leadership change or influence gender politics in the country?
In case of the Liberal Democratic Party, this is very important because Liberal Democratic Party is they are the party, ruling party for a long time, but their image is very conservative, especially the gender issue and age issue. So simply said, 70 years old men are leading the LDP is as a tradition. But now Takaichi sworn in as the first female leader is one kind of the revolution. That is the first step. And because indeed the LDP has changed in this gender-related issue under the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. She tried to push the lady to join and at the same time persuade the conservative member of the LDP to accept the lady leaders. So that's why this has a starting point. Now the 2025, first time Prime Minister Shinzo Abe sworn in was the 2007 and 2012 also. So that's why more than 10 years has gone. And it was the first time the female leader sworn in as the leader of the LDP. And Ms. Takaichi is really the successor of the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, so that's why the Shinzo Abe supporters will support her. In this means that this trend is continued to accept the first female leaders. And the female leader is very important for Takaichi because in case of the policy, she is right-wing type the policy. So that's why a little bit conservative image exists. But at the same time, that's why she is the first female leader is a new image, the good image and fresh image. So that's why combination of the new and old is important to persuade the voters. And in this case, Takaichi can succeed because she can exploit, because of that she is the first female leader of the very conservative party.
And
so that, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for sharing that. And what challenges does Takaichi face in reviving the LDP's reputation?
In this case, most important challenge is in the both parliament, in the upper house and the lower house, current LDP has already lost the majority. So this is the biggest party in the both the upper house and the lower house, but at the same time, without a cooperation with other parties, she cannot sworn in as a prime minister. And in this case, her policy could be the matter. Current coalition partner Komeito dislikes right-wing policy. So that they are left. So that's why there's a possibility the Komeito try to persuade Takaichi to accept the left-wing, more liberal policy. But can Takaichi accept it is a matter of concern because her supporter is right and the coalition partner is relatively left. So, and after that, even if with the Komeito, still the current LDP lacks a majority, so she needs to persuade other opposition party. And in this case, of course, the candidate will be for the right-wing parties, right-wing opposition parties. But one by one, she needs to persuade. Without this, she cannot be the prime minister now. So this coalition, or even if the case-by-case basis partner, she needs to persuade the other party will be the challenge for her to be the prime minister.
And since she is known to be a nationalistic candidate, or she holds right-wing views, so how will she navigate with Japan's relationships with neighboring countries such as China and South Korea going forward?
Yes, that is matter. When the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who is also the right-wing type politician, faced the problem with South Korea and China, he focused on the relation with Southeast Asia, India, or Middle Eastern countries, and Europe. So this is a new type of the foreign policy in the Japan's history. Skip the northeastern region and find a new partner outside of the northeast region. So that was quite new. That's why the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe focusing on the new concept, Indo-Pacific, which is far wider than the Northeast Asia. So in case of the Takaichi, success of the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, if she faced a problem with South Korea or China or Northeast region, of course, she can choose the same method, which is beyond the Northeast Asia, because Earth is wide and many countries exist, they can find a new partner. That could happen. This means that Indo-Pacific, the concept will revitalize, so under the Takaichi, there's a possibility she try to cooperate with countries far from Japan. That could be the new policy if she faced a tough situation with neighboring countries.
And now looking at the voters' votes, how do you think why do you think Shinjiro Koizumi, although there was generational appeal, also there was this fact that he was the youngest contestant among the four, why do you think he lost this battle?
View from the very conservative people in the LDP, it's young and ready, both are the problem. Even if this is, view from the common Japanese, this is a new image and good image, but view from the very conservative people, this is a problem. So, but in case of the Takaichi, in case of the Koizumi, indeed, under the current world situation, one has advantage, another one has lost advantage. Because currently in the world, the right wing is getting the majority in the growing the influence. Especially in case of Japan worry about the relation with Trump administration. And in this case, who has the advantage? Takaichi's right-wing type success of the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. This means that when the Takaichi becomes the Prime Minister, in this case, she could be the good friend with the President Trump, the many people believe. So that's why, in case of the Koizumi, still President Trump likes the younger people, like the Vice President Vance or others. So that's why, of course, there is a possibility that Mr. Koizumi could be a good friend of the President Trump, but at the same time, if the right wing is better than the more middle right, in this case, Takaichi has the advantage, many people believe. So this time, Takaichi's right-wing part contributes to her success because US president is right. That is my analysis. Thank you.
And can you tell us how is this news covered in Japan? Are people hopeful about this change, about this fresh air in the
A
politics?
little bit interesting situation because the mood is relatively calm. A certain number of the people wish Takaichi to be the leader of the LDP, indeed, but because currently right-wing people are growing the influence and persuading common Japanese, so that is a very strong point of the Mr. Takaichi. But at the same time, just before this election, many media reports indicate that Takaichi is facing the very tough situation. So finally she won, but everyone surprised indeed. And so when the Japanese Japanese face the emotional situation, which is shocked one or this is good, impressive, in this case, same reaction has came from the many Japanese is silent. When the emotion has moved, they try to hide. It's the Japanese cultural style. So this means that what happened is, why so silent? Everyone do not say anything. Even if the supporter of the Takaichi was shocked, because they did not believe that Takaichi win the election. So that's why this is good news. Of course, good news. They were happy. Despite this, their reaction is very silent. That is the current mood in Japan.
That is very interesting that you mentioned that. Thank you for sharing that. And you earlier mentioned that she was or she is being supported by people of who support the supporters of late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. So, what do you think that what will she carry on from his policies that? What do you think that she will pursue, and how do they relate to the legacy of late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's?
That is some factors affected to the Takaichi's policy. The one is, of course, she is the successor of the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. So supporter of the Shinzo Abe will support Takaichi, that is true. But at the same time, number has already declined through some of the last elections. Last upper house, lower house, LDP lost many members, including many Abe supporters. So that's why when Takaichi sworn in, number of the supporters already declined. So that's why as a group, the influence is a little bit small compared with the past. In case of the Shinzo Abe won the all elections, and so that's why he was very powerful leader. Takaichi cannot show such kind of influence without number. And at the same time, still she need, so that's why she need to persuade the opposition party, concede to the opposition party is needed. So that is a very tough situation. Compared with Shinzo Abe, this is a very big problem for her. And another factor is, indeed, Shinzo Abe is a creative character. So Indo-Pacific or Quad or other idea, every time he created and he made this idea to the real policy. So that's why can Takaichi do the same? That is the matter, and it relies on her capability. So that's why compared with the Shinzo Abe, even if she is a successor, influence is limited and the creative character is also needed. This is a little bit tough for her, so she needs to overcome these tough challenges.
Right. With that, I would like to thank